So you finally decided to start working out. Maybe even bought new sneakers or signed up for a gym. But then reality hits. What the hell do you actually do once you get there? Do you just copy what others are doing or follow some random TikTok routine or winning it on the machines? Hi, I'm Tamara, a certified master health coach and a personal trainer. I help those new to exercise create safe, effective, and easy to implement ways to work out so you get the results without risking injury or losing motivation. This video is the first in my new Fitness 101 series, in which I will break down the science-based principles of workout programming in simple terms. And by the end of the series, you will be able to put together your own beginner-friendly workouts, understand the why behind all this sets, reps, and exercise selection, and also spot the red flags in those cookie-cutter programs floating around online. If you're ready to start working out with confidence instead of total confusion, this series is for you. Let's go. Before starting any exercise program, you want to clarify the why behind your decision to exercise at all. Because the main principle of workout design is the principle of specificity. That sounds as the body will specifically adapt to the type of demand placed on it. Or in normal human language, you gain what you train. And here comes the main caveat of fitness. Looking good or changing the weight of your body isn't something you can train. You can train specific bodily functions that may or may not have aesthetic changes as a side effect. And today, I will share the most common functions you can train at the gym with examples of where you can need them in your daily life and potential nice side effects that may follow. Now, bear with me as I will list these functions. And when you can see the bigger picture, we'll focus a little more on details. And the first function is cardiovascular endurance. It's the ability of your heart and lungs to efficiently supply oxygen to the body during sustained physical activity. Second is muscular endurance, the ability to produce and maintain force production for prolonged periods of time. The third is strength, the ability of the neuromuscular system to produce internal tension to overcome an external force. Number 4 is mobility, the ability to move a joint throughout its complete range of motion while maintaining control in dynamic. Number 5 is balance, the ability to move and change directions under various conditions without falling. Number 6 is coordination. It's the ability to use different body parts together smoothly and efficiently. 7 is speed, agility, and quickness, more task-specific functions often needed in sports. And number 8 is power, the ability of the neuromuscular system to produce the greatest possible force in the shortest possible time. Now, the last 2 functions are mostly called upon during emergencies, well, outside of sports, and needed in situations such as sleeping on ice, grabbing a falling child, escaping danger, etc. Training SAQ, or power, is usually not done with absolute beginners, as it needs at least some established basics in place in order to do it safely. However, including those types of training at some point will bring along a bunch of hidden benefits. The biggest thing about balance training is, of course, avoiding falls, because falls are the most common cause of traumatic brain injuries, according to CDC. And only in 2019, 83% of hip fracture death and 88% of emergency department visits and hospitalizations for hip fractures were caused by falls. So training balance is really important. Last week, we talked about the physical activity guidelines for Americans and learned that in order to live a long, healthy life, it's recommended to engage in 2 types of activities: aerobic and muscle strengthening. And today I'd like to focus on it the most so you have a better idea of where to begin to be among those who do follow the guidelines. The very first thing you want to look at is incorporating aerobic activity into your life. And the function of the body this activity improves is cardiovascular endurance. The ability of your heart and lungs to efficiently supply oxygen to the body during sustained physical activity. In real life, almost all of us have had those moments when we experience some lack of what we call cardio fitness. Ever gotten winded from climbing stairs or a short run to catch a bus? Struggled to keep up with kids or grandkids while playing? Ever felt drained after a simple trip to a grocery store or doing chores like cleaning or gardening? All of these are signs of some cardio fitness deficiency. And it can be truly annoying, limiting, and affecting your overall quality of life. For example, I love to travel, and my very favorite activity is just wandering around new places, sightseeing, just, catching the glimpses of different ways of living. And I really need this piece of fitness in place so I can enjoy my time while walking and carrying my backpack with all the necessities without the need of making frequent stops. In order to train your cardio, you need to create an appropriate demand. Move your body in a way that gets your heart rate up for a prolonged amount of time. And this prolonged amount may mean different things for different people. As I shared in my previous video, physical activity guidelines for Americans recommend to build up your activity duration to at least 150 minutes per week. But if you are just starting exercising, it might seem too much and absolutely unapproachable. But here's good news. Even 5-10 minutes of moderate intensity activity will move the needle. And then you will be able to gradually build it up to the recommended minimum and beyond. So what can you do to get your heart rate going? Walk. It is the easiest and insanely beneficial thing to do. Walk outside if you can to combine the benefits of the activity itself and being outdoors, or dance to your favorite music. At the gym, the whole cardio section is called so because the main purpose of all the machines there is just this: train your cardiovascular system. Choose whatever machine you like better. Treadmill, elliptical, rowing, cycling, step climber, whatever you feel like and whatever your body allows you to do. If you can talk but not sing, you're in moderate intensity. That counts. And if you feel more adventurous, try group classes like step aerobics, any kind of dancing, Zumba, spinning, kickboxing, or go swim laps at the pool. Now, moving on to muscle strengthening activities, the second recommendation from the guidelines. There are multiple bodily functions that could be trained through resistance workouts, including, but not limited to, muscular endurance, strength, and power. But the best place to start exploring this area of fitness is working on mobility. And even though mobility is something absolutely everyone would benefit from training, it is especially important to do as a beginner athlete because it will not only help with injury prevention, but also ensure that your joints are capable of executing movements with correct form and through their full range of motion in the most effective way. So let's your motto be move better first, then move more and move heavier. Just imagine that you begin doing some squats, but can only go to a quarter depth. Although shallow squats will do some good for developing your leg muscles, they will not help you get up from a lower couch or even a toilet sometime down the road. So if you feel stiff getting out of bed or standing after sitting, struggle to bend down to tie shoes or pick something up, find it difficult to reach shelves or fasten a bra, make sure to include mobility exercises into your routine. You will not only lower your risk of injuries, but also have better posture, a reduced risk of chronic pain, especially in the back, neck, and hips, and gain overall freedom of movement, making daily tasks feel much easier. as well as looking younger when moving with ease. So question, do you feel tighter in your back, hips, or shoulders? So how do you train mobility? There are 3 common ways to stretch on your own. It's self-myofascial release or foam rolling, static stretching, and dynamic stretching. Foam rolling serves as a kind of self-massage and helps to release accumulated tension in the muscles and can be used both as a warm-up, cool-down, or even a standalone practice. I will not focus too much on it in this video, as foam rollers aren't something everybody have access to. But if you would like me to do a separate video on foam rolling, please let me know. Let's move on to dynamic stretching. It's when you move through the range of motion without prolonged hold on the poses. You get into a pose until you can feel a comfortable stretch. Hold it for 1 or 2 seconds, and then return to neutral position. Repeat each pose 5-10 times. Dynamic stretching is great as a warm-up or a standalone practice. Work around the major joints, hips, shoulders, spine, ankles, focusing on what feels the most tight at the moment. And you might ask, what does comfortable stretch mean? And it is a very important question because overdoing it, even with stretching, will cause more trouble than it's worth. So on a scale from 0 to 5, when 0 is doing nothing and 5 you feel that your muscles are gonna tear, stick to number 3 for all your stretches. You feel that you're doing something, but it's more pleasant than painful. And last but not least, static stretching. It's when you take the muscle to the number 3 on the scale and hold it for at least 30 seconds. This type of stretching is not ideal for warm-ups, as it triggers the parasympathetic nervous system. It's our rest and digest system. So it's best left for the end of your workout or used as a standalone practice when you need to calm down and get ready to rest. It works great as a bedtime routine as well. So here is a quick recap. Start with any cardio you will actually do, even 5-10 minutes. Add mobility work, dynamic before, static after. Ta-da! In the next video, we'll talk more about how to approach muscle strengthening after you tackle the mobility piece. We'll go over the main movement patterns that you should include into your workouts to make sure your body is trained in a balanced way. We will also uncover why split routines are absolutely unnecessary for beginners, and not only for beginners, to be honest, and why full body workouts are the best way to go. We will talk in more details about sets, reps, and other nitty-gritty of the resistance training. And if it feels overwhelming, I totally get it. It's a lot. So I do one-on-one beginners coaching, link in the description, and I'm happy to help you. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in a week. Bye.